I have an adopted son. I decided as a single mother that I wanted to have a family again. And all of a sudden one day I wasn't afraid to do it. So being that I was previously married and I was so old, I was 49, that I didn't have many choices of countries. I had Kazakhstan, Guatemala, and Russia. So I chose Russia. I went to Siberia. Oh. And I adopted Michael. It was like a journey that I took steadfastly. I just took one step at a time. And it's a lot of paperwork. When it was all done, the agency said, okay, do you want a boy or a girl? And I said, I don't know, I guess a girl. I'm a single mom. And I said, why? If I was pregnant, I really wouldn't have a choice. She said, well, no one really wants the boys because it's very female-driven, adoption. So I said, I'll take a boy then. And they said, do you want to see one child's picture or many? I said, oh no, I couldn't pick, just one will be fine. And so like 4 days after I finished the paperwork, which was about 6 months of time, they sent me a little picture this big of Michael, who at the time was 8 months old, but the picture was of him at 4 months old. And they sent me a video that was 30 seconds long of him in a crib, just like, you know, staring out. And a very short, not very much history on him. And they said, you have a couple of weeks to get to Siberia if you would like to meet him. So I did a little research on what information they gave me, and I got on a plane to Moscow and then Moscow to Siberia. I felt like after living in New York for 20 years, I could do it. And I just put my backpack on and marched around Moscow and then on to Siberia and just owned it. I couldn't wait. And I met him. You know, families are just made different ways. I saw him, I looked at him, I was like, you're my son. And I just wanted to take him home, and you can't. And then they let you feed him, and you know, he's in an orphanage. They do the best they can. But he didn't have formula. He was tiny. I think he weighed like 14 pounds. I got to spend a little time with him, and then I had to decide. I had to stay in country for 10 days, and I knew instantly, and I told them, you know, yes, hurry, I want to take him home, but you can't. And then I wanted to take 4 more home with me because all these children need parents. So I had to go home and leave him there. But once again, I was very lucky, and the process just kept working for me. And 4 weeks later, I went back on a plane, and I adopted him then and got to bring him home. That was 10 days more. Michael took his first step when he should. He didn't speak, though, until he was 2.
Were you worried about that?
Very. I was calling in already people. But he had nothing to say. In a minute, he was ready. He spoke in a full sentence at 2, and that was it. He's very bright. He's in National Honor Society and Spanish Honor Society, and he's in a STEM academy. He rides horses. He's highly competitive. He's, you know, I've been unmarried his whole life. I've devoted, he's my man. I mean, he's just been where I threw all my love and attention, other than my farm.